Oh boy, that's just crazy.
At this rate, I'm going to be absolutely wrecked.
I feel like that would be extremely depressing.
What's the word I'm looking for? I feel like I have a music problem. You see, I'm constantly listening to music. I listen to music when I wake up, when I'm studying, when I'm cooking, when I'm cleaning up, or when I'm just chilling out. I feel like I'm always listening to something.
How long do you think you can last without listening to music? I would say maybe a day or like a week.
One morning routine.
What? A day max? A day. I can't imagine doing a workout in silence. I feel like that would be extremely depressing. I couldn't study.
And for me, it doesn't stop at just listening to music. I play the piano, I'm learning to play the guitar, and I also produce music every now and then. So I'm constantly drowning in music. I feel like I have music fatigue. The music I used to really enjoy just don't hit as much as they used to. I also constantly have songs stuck in my head all the time, and that includes rhythms, beats, melodies, the whole shebang. So in this challenge, I'm gonna go 5 days without listening to music, and hopefully by the end, I'll be able to alleviate any or all of these symptoms, especially the one where I have songs playing in my head all the time. Maybe I just need to spend a few days away from music in order to just sensitize my ears and my brain so that maybe I'll enjoy it again. Maybe a break is exactly what I need to reopen my musical eye.
So it's just turned 1:45. I'm just about to go to sleep. I've got all my work done for today. The last bit of music I listened to was an album called Athletic Progression by Athletic Progression. Absolutely sick album. But yeah, I'm just about to go to sleep because I have a family medicine class tomorrow. And at this rate, I'm going to be absolutely wrecked. The challenge begins tomorrow. We'll see how it goes.
Alright, so Monday morning wasn't too bad. I did have a small urge to play some music when I woke up, and I also had some kind of rhythm playing around in my head whilst I was going through my morning routine. But after a while, those two things went away, and before I knew it, I was off. Once I'd finished my class, I still felt pretty normal. I didn't feel like I missed music until I got home and started studying. Oh boy. You see, usually when I'm studying, I usually have some form of playlist playing in the background, whether it's lo-fi, cinematic, or classical. And when I was studying this time, it just felt a bit weird because I didn't have anything playing in the background. And because I usually use music alongside study, when I didn't have music there, it felt like other things were trying to fill that void in the form of distractions. And I'd find myself just thinking about the most random things whilst I'm trying to study. I feel like music may have acted as my anchor when I was studying because it just made studying feel good. But when I was just stuck with my thoughts and the sound of traffic around me and the sound of my keyboard, even though my keyboard does sound pretty nice, it just felt a bit weird. And I just felt a bit of friction when I was trying to get into my flow state. But after a while, I just got used to it and I was able to study as normal in complete silence. It's not as if I've never studied in silence before. The challenge kind of served as a constant reminder that I'm not allowed to let myself listen to music, and that thought became distracting on its own, as funny as it sounds. But anyways, I think day one went pretty alright. I'm looking forward to see what happens in the next few days. On to day two. Alright, so Tuesday was basically almost the same as Monday. I still felt like playing music, and I still had music playing in my head, no matter how hard I tried to just empty my thoughts. Though this time I felt like I appreciated the silence that I had around me. It reminds me of a quote that I saw on Twitter, but I'm going to use it here because I think it fits. And it goes, "Noise creates illusions, but silence brings truth." I found that back when I used to listen to music all the time. I say back as if it's not just a few days ago, but back when I used to listen to music all the time, my mood was very dependent on the music that I was listening to at the time. So when I played happy music, I felt really elated. When I played sad music, well, I felt sad. I felt like because of music, my mood generally just went up and down, up and down, up and down. And then when I stopped listening to music, I started to feel a lot more stable. And because of the fact that my mood was very dependent on what I was listening to through my ears, it almost felt like there was a bit of a disconnect between what was actually going on around me and what I was feeling. And I found that when I stopped listening to music, I felt a lot more connected with my environment. I was able to just hear everything that was going on around me. And I know what you're saying, like, that's kind of obvious, but I found that that actually didn't happen much when I had AirPods in the whole time. I think music really helped to just clog my brain up so that my brain was listening to instrumentals and lyrics instead of thinking about stuff that was actually going on around me. Whether this is a good thing or a bad thing, I don't know. Also, whilst I was studying in the library, I felt a lot more zeroed in to what I was reading, which does sound kind of obvious because listening to music does take up brain energy that should be used to read and study, though I don't know if I enjoyed it, and that's the problem. When I listen to music, studying was just fun, and whether or not I'm going to continue listening to music while I study, I have no idea. I do not know. I'm not even going to lie to you. Though music does make studying so much more bearable. Alright, so it's currently 3:45 on Friday. It's the 5th day of the challenge and we're roughly like 8 hours away from finishing, and I really enjoyed this challenge. And there were 3 main things that I kind of learned just from taking part of this challenge. The first is that I listen to music way too much, and it's basically what led to me having to do this challenge in the first place. I just didn't enjoy music anymore, and because I listened to so much music, I just constantly had songs stuck in my head. And the amount of times that this has happened has definitely decreased ever since I started this challenge. Now I've realized that I just don't have to listen to music all the time. I can go read a book, I can go talk with friends, I can go listen to a podcast. I don't have to necessarily expose myself to melodies and beats. There's so many other things I could be doing. And that just leads on to the second point, where sometimes it's nice to just use the space that silence gives to just think and reflect on certain topics that I haven't given thought to in a while. And thirdly, I still really enjoy music. Like, the point of this challenge was to see whether no music was better than music. Like, music definitely has its place. It's a good thing, and the world is definitely a better place for it. But moderation is key. And it's not just music, this goes for so many other things as well. Alright, so my challenge is going to end soon, and I guess we're going to see if restricting myself from playing music and listening to music was actually worth it in the end. I'll see you then. Yeah, it was definitely worth it.